reasons why you should invest in South Africa. Number 1, hot emerging market. Number 2, the number 1 diversified economy in Africa. Number 3, the largest presence of multinationals on the African continent. Number 4, progressive constitution and independent judiciary. Number 5, favorable market access to global markets. Number 6, abundant natural resources. Number 7, advanced financial services and banking sector. Number 8, world-class infrastructure and logistics. Number 9, young trainable labor force. And number 10, excellent quality of life.
Celebrate African excellence, Black excellence, and all the different cultures that map up the motherland, and all the bloodlines gushing through our veins, Ubuntu. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed guests, and all of you watching from wherever you are on the globe tonight, habari zenyu, maswera say, muribwanji, salum malikum, akwaba, onleo, sawbona, and welcome to the annual Global African Awards brought to you by CMG in partnership with Brand South Africa. My name is Zicho and I am your host for tonight. So sit back, relax, and grab yourself a drink because tonight we are toasting the creme de la creme of Africa. And as this proverb that's coming through from Cameroon says, you cannot take a shortcut to the top of the palm tree. And these honoraries that we're celebrating tonight, they embody this so superbly. But right now, I need you to get onto whatever you're using right now to watch me and hit me up with all those clapping emojis as I introduce to you right now the founder of CMG and the brains behind this auspicious event, Conrad Mwanza. Yes!
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't she look beautiful? She looks absolutely amazing. And what a beautiful day it is today. First of all, I want to thank our partners. I want to thank Brand South Africa for coming on board. This would not be possible without the partnership of Brand South Africa. So Brand South Africa, we salute you. Please, if you need to visit South Africa, if you need to invest, you've had so many reasons why you should invest in South Africa. And I think you should come and visit, especially when this COVID situation is over. Right now, we're going virtual. We could have been met here in Mayfair in London, but as technology has allowed us, we're going to meet virtually. So I want to thank the team behind this, headed by Epson in Zimbabwe, and the team here in South Africa, and the team in London, and the team around the world. We've all come together. I want to also give a special mention to my sister, the head of Brand SA in UK, Miss Pumela Salela. Thank you for believing in the brand, and thank you for taking the journey with us for the last few years you've been with us. So I salute you, my sister. I also want to salute my friends, my family, Mr. Xolani Xala. I give you respect. I also give respect to all the honorees that are here today. Congratulations. But I also want to thank our beautiful host. Doesn't she look amazing? I want to thank Zinhlo for doing this for us. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight, it's about celebrating those honorees, those people who push the boundaries to make Africa proud, those people who are representing us, who are brand ambassadors wherever we are in the world. Africa has a future, and the future is within us, and the future is now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. Enjoy tonight, and I will see you later. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
And thank you very much to Conrad. Come through again with all those clapping emojis. And now I have the pleasure to introduce to you our event partner that Conrad just spoke about. She is representing Brand South Africa, and she is ever so vivacious and so bubbly. And I just present it over to you, Phumela Salela.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of the Global African Awards, Mr. Conrad Mwanza, the award recipients, program director, thank you for the opportunity for Brand South Africa to partner with the Global Africa Awards. We feel that we've grown as a family from when we used to recognize African talent within the diaspora to now recognizing those who are making a global impact within Africa and the diaspora itself. Through the journey, the core has remained. That is to recognize, to honor Africans and friends of Africa who have gone global by making an impact in various fields. I wish to start by recognizing the Secretary General, the first Secretary General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, His Excellency Mr. Wamkele Mnene, who is honored tonight. When I look at the breadth of and the length and the breadth of the recipients tonight, I see creative industries, I see entrepreneurship, I see philanthropy, investments, business, the arts, book authors, the non-profit sector, amongst others. And I want to thank each and every award recipient for the role that they play in flying the African flag high. Allow me to indicate that I am particularly impressed when I see an individual such as Josina Machel, who's an award recipient tonight, who has turned her unfortunate incident to make sure that we realize that it is possible for us to turn what is supposed to break you into a breakthrough. She's empowering others and saving lives. Josina Machel is the founder of the Kuhluka movement, which is a non-profit initiative that empowers survivors of gender-based violence. She is the daughter of one of the greatest sons of the African soil, a great leader, Samora Machel. She chose courage over shame. Please stay tuned so that you can be able to hear her story, ladies and gentlemen. In the United Kingdom alone, the statistic is that there has been an increase of 49% in domestic abuse since the pandemic erupted or struck us last year, because sadly so, domestic violence works from home. And in particularly under these conditions that are referred to as a new normal. It is particularly important, ladies and gentlemen, that we recognize the female leaders of the African continent today, because we are still within the International Women's Month. We wish to recognize and honor Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who's been appointed as the first African and the first woman in the history of the World Trade Organization to take this top position. We wish her well in her endeavors. When I see the honorees tonight, I realize that Africa is in great hands. These are individuals who've taken their time, who've taken their skills, their resources, their expertise, and they've used it for the betterment of Africa. They are playing their part in positioning Africa as being a globally competitive continent. So let us take a moment and give them a big round of applause from wherever we are in the world. We can do it through the YouTube, the Instagram, raising hands, putting on claps, just to honor each and every recipient that is here today. Yes, thank you for the claps. I can see them there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a blueprint for creating the Africa that we want. It is Agenda 2063 of the African Union. It is Africa's own development vision. His Excellency, President Cyril Ramaphosa, in addressing the opening of the African Union Heads of State and Government during the virtual session in December 2020, indicated that the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement is more critical than ever. He said, and I quote, "We must use it to advance the empowerment of Africa's women, one of the most important objectives of Africa Agenda 2063. So let me use this opportunity to go further and make a clarion call to each of you, to everyone who's watching today, right now, to say that there are 7 pillars of Africa's Agenda 2063, and each of us can play a part in bringing them to life. The goals of Agenda 2063 are to transform the nations of the continent into democratic, peaceful, and innovative powerhouses that will aim to be global players in the next 50 years. Included in Agenda 2063 are what are known as 7 aspirations. These are objectives that encompass all the goals of Agenda to Africa 2063 and are crucial to the success of the agenda. The aspirations are: 1, a prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development. An integrated continent, politically united and based on the ideals of Pan-Africanism and a vision for African Renaissance. An Africa of good governance, democracy, and respect for human rights, justice, and the rule of law. A peaceful and secure Africa. Africa with a strong cultural identity, common heritage, values, and heritage, including ethics. An Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential that is offered by the African people, especially its women and youth, and caring for children. And then the 7th aspiration is an Africa that is strong, that is united, resilient, and an influential global player and partner. Each of the 7 aspirations makes up a key to Africa's future on the world stage. So I implore you and I urge you to choose an area where you can make a difference and be the change that you wish to see. Who knows, we may be honoring you next. You can be part of the game changers. You can be part of the difference makers that we are honoring tonight and in the future. But what I want to say is that whether you have received an award or not, by virtue of you being here today, present during this broadcast, you become an ambassador for Africa. And you become an ambassador for Africa across the world. Please articulate the Africa that we know and not the Africa that we are told. One of Africa's forefathers, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, once said, "It's clear that we must find an African solution to Africa's problems, and this can be found in African unity. Divided, we are weak. United, Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in the world. In conclusion, allow me to leave you with my favorite poem, one that was loved by the great Tata Nelson Mandela, and I use it to motivate myself to do more. And I hope that it will ignite the leader in you. The poem is called A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. It goes, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light and not our darkness that frightens us the most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us. It is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you very much.
When a seed is planted in rich and fertile soil, it lays down strong roots and yields vast acres of produce. The same rings true when it comes to investing. You need a fertile environment to grow your investment, and South Africa offers a perfect environment for growth. Despite internal and external challenges, South Africa's growth prospects continue unabated. Over the last 10 years, we've had a population growth of just under 7 million people and a GDP that has grown by $121.5 billion. We have a modern and well-developed transport infrastructure with an expanded road network. The Gautrain rail system connects Johannesburg and Pretoria, the financial and administrative capital cities, to the OR Tambo International Airport, with stations across both cities. 12.8 million households now have access to electricity in urban and rural areas. South Africa is also home to the most advanced financial institutions and systems in the world. It is one of the most sophisticated emerging markets globally and a key investment location for the market opportunities that lie within it. Our country is an African economic powerhouse with a favorable demographic profile and a growing middle class with increasing spending power. These are the key factors that have contributed to the growth of our nation's successes. We're a diverse nation with a unique history and a rich heritage. A land of 11 official languages and breathtaking natural beauty, South Africa has something for everybody who visits it. Thanks to the richness of our culture and heritage, our country is considered a prime tourist destination, which is a major contributor to the country's economic success. South Africa is considered to have one of the world's most progressive constitutions with a Bill of Rights second to none, which seeks to establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights. We share a number of internationally valued products with the world, such as platinum, coal, diamonds, fruit, vegetables, and more. The South African automotive industry continues to grow and is perfectly placed for investment opportunities. We are leading manufacturers of global car brands such as BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and Toyota, with production plants across the country. We have one of the most advanced port infrastructures in Africa, allowing for the easy flow of goods in and out of the country. In the last 5 years, exports have increased from 500 to more than 900 billion rand, reflecting the increase in demand for locally produced goods that leave our shores via road, rail, air, or sea. Our nation is home to a number of international airports, most notably OR Tambo International Airport, Cape Town International Airport, and King Shaka International Airport in Durban, all transporting and welcoming millions of visitors to and from our shores for both business and pleasure. We're a nation of entrepreneurs, innovators, skilled workers, and artisans. We are early adopters of technology, continuously embracing new innovations. We're the incubator of local and foreign businesses and ideas that have taken root here and flourished beyond our borders into Africa and the world at large. When deciding where to invest, ensure that you plant your investment in an environment where the conditions for growth are favorable. Choose an environment where your investment can lay down strong roots and grow. Choose South Africa. South Africa, inspiring new ways.
Not been so possible, but right now we would like to introduce His Excellency Wamgele Mene, who is the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, making his acceptance speech.
I wish to thank the awards committee for selecting me to be this year's receiver of the Global Impact Award. I don't see it, as much as I appreciate the award, I don't see it as a personal achievement. I see it as a testament of what we can achieve as Africans when we work together towards a common objective. In this case, the common objective is the African Continental Free Trade Area. We worked together over the last 5 years as Africans to make sure that we have an African Continental Free Trade Area that will achieve Africa's long-standing economic objectives, pushing back the frontiers of poverty, accelerating Africa's industrial development, boosting intra-Africa trade, and boosting intra-Africa investment. All of these ideals are the fundamental foundation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. And although we may not have achieved all of it yet, but we've made significant progress working together as Africans. I therefore see this award, and I receive this award on behalf of all Africans, on behalf of the African Union, the Assembly of Heads of States that elected me, and millions of Africans across the length and breadth of the continent who have high hopes for what this African Continental Free Trade Area, what it can achieve for Africa, what it can achieve for small, medium enterprises, for women in trade, and for young people. I thank you very much for the confidence, and I thank you very much for the award. Thank you.
Next recipient is Carolyn Steyn, who is the founder, is the initiative behind the whole idea of 67 blankets, which is actually birthed from 67 minutes that is celebrated on Nelson Mandela Day. So today here at Global African Awards, we'd like to celebrate her for all the hard work that she has been putting into the community through her 67 blankets. Caroline Steyn.
Thank you so much, Global African Awards, for this recognition. I'm humbled and really honored to receive it. I also have to say thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to get all dressed up tonight. My husband didn't recognize me. For the past year, I've been here in lockdown at home in Johannesburg, South Africa, in my trusty old tracksuit and my tackies or my running shoes. Firstly, I'd like to say this award is definitely not for me alone. I share this with thousands of Nitwits for Madiba who are part of our wonderful 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day family. They are selfless individuals who give of their time, their energy, their efforts, their resources to make blankets with their own two hands, with love for those who need warmth during the cold winter months. 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day started over 7 years ago. On my husband's birthday, I was challenged to make 67 blankets by Mandela Day 2014. And I realized very, very quickly I would not be able to do this on my own. And so what does one do in this dilemma? One turns to Facebook and asks friends for help. And those friends ask their friends. And so it goes. Amazing how a simple idea, a ball of wool and a crochet hook can pretty much snowball into what many people are calling a movement for good, a movement for change in our world. To date, we have not distributed 67 blankets, but I can confidently say we have distributed over 67,000 blankets in South Africa alone. So thank you to everybody who has put hook to wool and made blankets with their own two hands for people in need. The most beautiful thing, I have to say, for me, and I think for many thousands of people around South Africa and around the world, is that on the one hand, people are receiving blankets made with love. On the other, communities are being formed. People are coming together from all walks of life to stitch by stitch make a difference in our world. We're knitting our lives together. Some are knitting broken lives together, people serving sentences behind bars in prisons, making blankets for people on the outside whose lives have been affected by crime and poverty. We're knitting our nation together. We're knitting nations together. Slowly, slowly, we are uniting, we're coming together, we are becoming one through bright, warm, colorful thread. I have to say a very, very big thank you to my wonderful husband, Doe, to my family, to my friends, to the many thousands of Nitwits for Madiba who are sharing this vision, who are walking this wonderful, exciting 67 Blankets journey with me. I would very much like to dedicate this award to my late mom, Yvonne Hazel Medzotti Barkhazen. She would have been my biggest champion. She really would have. She would have created countless blankets by now. And, you know, my mom grew up in an orphanage with nothing. And I would like to think that my mom, as a little girl, would have received a blanket made with love by someone who cared. Thank you again to Check Out Africa, Brand South Africa, Pumela, and everybody who made tonight possible, and to all the other very worthy recipients. I'm so honored to be in your company, and I look so forward to jumping on a plane soon in August, cross fingers, and wearing my mask to going to London and to the Mayfair Hotel and greeting you and chatting and celebrating life together. And again, thank you so, so very much appreciated.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. There's one thing that you did mention that I totally do not agree with you, is when you say that you've been wearing your tracksuits the whole of this couple of months and you're not looking good. There's nothing that you can do that will not make you look good. You look like a supermodel, but thank you so much. Now, next up, we would like to honor Eugene Nzeyama for his expertise as co-founder and CEO of SSG Consultancy, director and chair of One Africa Network, and CEO of African Business Chamber. Right now, the youth constitutes about 70% of the population in Africa. And also something else that we know is going to be the future. I mean, clearly the youth is the future for Africa, but technology also is the future. So what happens when you bring together the youth and technology? And this is why our next honorary is why we're actually acknowledging her tonight, because of the work that she does. She brings the two together and she makes a whole lot of magic. Right now, I would like to present to you Elizabeth Tanya Masiwa.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor and a privilege to be receiving an award this evening. I'm the second generation of a family whose legacy is to transform Africa through business using technology and through philanthropy through our investments in education, in health, and in rural transformation and sustainable livelihoods. At the age of 23, I left New York and landed in Johannesburg and later in Harare to build what I thought was going to be a tech company that would transform the way children learn. I quickly learned the complexities of doing business in Africa. And whilst I pursued my venture, I quickly turned my focus to ensuring that other young people, that one day when they had a vision to build their own businesses, that they wouldn't face some of the challenges we face today. This award tech who continue to innovate to bring Africa at the cutting edge of technology. It is for the team at Delta Philanthropies and the Highlight Foundation who spend endless hours in hospitals, in schools, in rural areas, learning with children and helping those who may never ever know their name or even say thank you. It is for my family and friends for their incredible support. And most importantly, it is for my parents who at a very young age entrusted me and believed in the vision and goals that I had to work in business and in philanthropy so that one day my dream to see young people thrive and have incredible opportunities might be realized. So thank you so much for this award. And I do hope it's moments like this that give us, those who pioneer and do things that are different, the edge to keep going. Because every pioneer knows that achieving something doesn't go without moments of tears or moments of questioning what you've done. So I'd just love to thank the organizers today because you have inspired me to keep going and to do.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and congratulations on being honored tonight. Now, I have a few questions for you. Are you ready for me?
Yes, I'm ready.
Right, so what does this award mean for you, especially with the work that you're doing?
Well, like I mentioned before, I started very young. I started my philanthropic journey as what I call a next-gen philanthropist when I was about 11. And I know that sounds a little bit like, we all do stuff. But I got my opportunity to serve on the board of a publicly listed company before my 27th birthday. And so this has been met with challenges. You don't just wake up and you're able to do things like this. There's days where you want to give up. There's days where you're excited about what you're doing. And when you have people who you don't even know recognize the work that you've done in business and in philanthropy, it's a pat on the back that you are going in the right direction. And it also inspires, we have a leadership academy that I founded with my mom 3 years ago, where we have these incredibly smart kids that we teach every day to be the next generation of African leaders. And so when they see their leadership being recognized on a platform like this, it really is validation. So I really would like to thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for coming through and just empowering us with all the work that you're doing. And we applaud you and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Right, now we continue with the awards. I mean, it's a fantastic night. Let me know how it's going for you. What are you excited about? What are you hoping to see? And how are you feeling about the different honoraries that we have seen? Do you know any of the initiatives? You know what to do. Hit me up, send me a message, and I'd love to hear from you. Now, next up, we are going to honor an amazing woman who is doing incredible things, because right now our African continent, it is so rich in labor, in minerals, and a whole lot more things. And this in itself makes it an investment magnet, right? And now actually investment attraction. And now we are going to honor an investment magnet who is doing so much work by just basically bringing in all the different local SMEs and partnering them with all the different investments coming in from West Asia and as well as Western Europe. And this is Njeri Muhia.
It says that I am in the show, but the music is still playing in the background. So I just want to say thank you very much for this award. It is such an honor to, hello everyone, good evening. It's such an honor to be here tonight and accept the Global Impact Award. It really is, just like one of the fellows awardees said, a good thing to keep me going. It's really a great time in Africa to be able to spur on investment and bring down the barriers that have held down our communities for so long. And I'm very excited to continue the journey with, the people here tonight, looking to collaborate with fellow awardees, fellow Africans, and essentially make sure that investment is ongoing on the continent. Thank you very much for this award.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jerry. And once again, congratulations for this award. So basically, with all the work that you're doing with the local SMEs, where do you see these SMEs basically in about 10 years' time?
I see these SMEs as global titans. I see these SMEs as companies that may have started in Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, but are then now serving global economies and have our household names similar to the Googles, to the Teslas, and all of the other great innovations that we see coming out of the West. We will soon be the ones conquering the news stories with this SMEs as they grow and scale.
And what are the challenges that you're basically facing when it comes to working with SMEs and just, putting them out there globally?
I think it's just the attention and the audience. And I think this platform, is a great place to start. But, we have a lot of great talent and a lot of great businesses on the continent that just need more audience from the right investors, from the right supporters, partners, businesses. And that's what we really need to be charging forward on.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your award.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Right, next up, we are looking into television and broadcasting, and everybody knows that Nollywood is doing the things when it comes to filmmaking. And this is why we're just basically looking at someone who is doing so only within the African continent, but also across the ponds with all the work that he is doing. And tonight we are going to honor a filmmaker, a director, and a screenwriter whose short film won Best Film at Film London Calling Plus Awards. And he was also a BAFTA nominee for this very same movie. And he's also currently working on his Netflix show called We Would Love to Honor Kobe Adam.
Thank you so much for this award. This is a big award to receive for myself as a proud African man myself. Working in the film and TV industries, one of my biggest ambitions in this sport is actually to go back to Africa and to set up a lot of work there, to make a lot of content there as well. So getting an award like this means a lot to me, as we have, I've worked quite hard on African content, and it's something that I pride myself on. So thank you so much for this award. I'm very, very grateful. God bless you.
Congratulations, Kobe, on your award and all the amazing work that you're doing as well. I mean, you're also working, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, if it's SE28 or Season 28, one of the two. Just help me out, help us.
Yeah, I'll help you. So SE28 is a feature film that I'm currently in development with under my own production company. But currently I'm directing on a show called Top Boy for Netflix. I worked on Noughts and Crosses for BBC One. And I'm also making another film called Haircut with Film 4 at the end of this year.
Right. So now, with all the work that you're doing as a screenwriter as well as a director, do you think that African storytellers are actually getting into the nitty-gritties and actually telling our stories like the way we can only tell them?
Of course. I think that now that there's been a lot more push towards Africans telling our own stories, I think that now we're able to give certain nuances that, may not have been able to have been achieved before. So, I'm just really happy that, I'm someone who was born in Africa actually and have lived in Africa before in Ghana, that I'm able to now get the opportunity to go and tell stories, from my memory and my vision, as opposed to doing any research or anything. So I think that I'm really happy with the new wave of African filmmakers being able to sort of write our own story so we can give you the details you need.
Okay, so I have a very funny question for you. I mean, when we watch a lot of movies that are coming in from America or anywhere else that is not within Africa, we get all these funny accents. Like, what is it about the accents that we need to fake to sound African? Like, how can we change that narrative? I mean, we are Africans after all, are we? So what are you going to do about that, Mr. Screenwriter?
You know what, to be fair, I think it's just about, again, people like myself given the opportunity to make the content, because we will know, to pick the right people, to teach accent coaches, the way to accentuate certain words, or to actually cast people who are of that nationality, if you know what I mean. So then that way its authenticity doesn't need to be questioned. But I think that that's an ongoing conversation. And I think that the more and more, for example, SE28 is about a Ghanaian guy around Nigerian gangsters in Thamesmead, South London. It doesn't get more detailed than that, so it's sort of like, I'm just happy that I'm able to be in a position like this, to be fair, to do something about it.
We are so happy that you're in this position, because I mean, you're going to change the whole narrative, and this is why we honored you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the award. It's an absolute pleasure. God bless.
You too. Now, as everybody knows, that on the African continent, on the motherland, we love our football. There's nothing bigger than football in this continent. Wherever you go, from South Africa to Kenya to the DRC, everybody is talking about all the favorite footballers. And this is exactly why tonight we have to honor someone who is in the industry, because ultimately our football players, they need the right brand strategies. They need the people that will push them and create that vision that they have. And this is where Drew Uyo comes in. And I mean, he is a PR specialist, and he is more than everything that I'm talking about right now. I mean, the guy has worked with the likes of Wilfred Ndidi, Ahmed Musa, and Odion Ighalo. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Drew Uyo. Drew, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic. How are you? And congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much, and good evening.
Yes, now it's so amazing to have you on. And honestly, all the work that you are doing, we just love to celebrate Black excellence, African excellence. Now, when we're looking at football on the continent, right? And we have a whole new president, a whole new CAF president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. What do you think the atmosphere is going to be like in CAF?
Yeah, personally, I think it's a welcome development. It's quite a good opportunity for Africans, for Black Africans to do well. And from his background, he's well-to-do. He can bring a lot of knowledge from the private sector into the CAF.
Okay, and I mean, I'm sure you always have these very interesting conversations with scouts, you know, the industry, and you know who is the next star to look out for. Who do you think is going to be the next big thing from the continent?
There are a lot of young players, like we're looking younger players from 2021. We're looking like 5 years from now, how big they can be, if they can be as Ronaldo. So, but we have to start early from now. So I don't have a favorite, but I would say from Nigeria, you have the likes of Victor Osimhen. That is the highest signing African player at the moment. But we still have a lot of Africans that identify with Africa, but they represent the European countries. So they are still part of us. As Bob Marley would say, no matter where you come from, you are an African.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Drew, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we honor you for all the work that you're putting in.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the awards.
You're absolutely welcome. Now at home, I'm sure you're having yourself a good time. And I'm pretty sure you probably want to get up to stretch your legs, you know, have a bit of extra refreshments, you know, but do come back. We're going to take a little break and come back because we've got more honoraries that we want to share with you. The night is still young. Please stay with me. Welcome back to the annual Global African Awards brought to you by CMG and in partnership with Brand South Africa. Now, if you've just joined us, where have you been? You are late for the party. We have been having the best time, but nevertheless, you are right here right now. So don't worry, because we've got a whole lot more exciting things coming your way. Now, right now, I mean, you know, as Africans, we love our music. What would Africa be without its heartbeat? I mean, look at me. I'm so excited every time I just think about music, in particular Afrobeats. I mean, it has taken over the whole world by storm. And of course, we have to acknowledge people who are doing incredible work in Afrobeats. I mean, if we look at the Grammys, the recent Grammys, you know, we had Wizkid as well as Burna Boy win their Grammys. So of course, Afrobeats is beating away. And this is why we would like to honor a man who is doing incredible work and is actually also creating a documentary on Afrobeats. And he's a DJ, and he goes by the name of Gabriel Renu, but he's also known by DJ Gabe.
Hello, and thank you for this prestigious award. I'd like to thank the organizers. I would also like to thank the sponsors and the presenter and everybody who's watching this award. Many years ago, when I embarked on this journey, being an advocate for African music, I never thought I would ever see the day that people who looked like me and who are from Africa will be getting an award, such as the Grammy. And it's been an interesting journey, and it's just amazing. I just love the fact that we are striding in terms of our music. The cross-pollination between African music is just an amazing thing to see. The South Africans meeting up with the Nigerians, the Ghanaians meeting up with the Nigerians, and everybody else. And it's just an amazing thing. And I just want to thank you, the viewers, people who have been supporting the music when it was nothing until where it is now. Thank you all, and thank you for this award. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you, DJ Gabe, for all the work that you're doing in Afrobeats. And I'm so keen to find out more about your documentary that you're working on Afrobeats, and what made you decide to start it, and how long back are you taking it, and where are you taking it?
I think it's important to kind of document the history of Afrobeats, and there are many facets to, you know, Afrobeats as a genre. So it's important to kind of make sure that the story is told by us, for us. Yeah. And we want to talk about the many sort of bits to it. It's not just the music, it's the producing, it's the clothes, it's the dancers, it's the disposable income that Africans are actually putting into this music. So there's so many elements to it. So I think it's important that we cover all those.
Right now, so when you were watching the Grammys, did you have an inkling that, I mean, at this point, they have to give us something for Afrobeats? Or
Absolutely.
were you just like astounded by this award, the awards rather?
We as Africans have been receiving the Grammy Awards for quite some time, but I think Burna Boy's one was the icing on the cake. I think it was a long time coming, and I think it's the fusion and he being able to kind of put that music and kind of reach a new audience and new heights was actually the tipping point for me as well. So that it was really good to watch. I had goosebumps.
And where do you see Afrobeats going in the next 10 years? I mean, if we look back in the last 10 years, that's when, you know, we had the big emergence of the likes of your Wizkid coming in with your On Top of Your Matter, and now his sound has completely changed. It's become hybrid. Where do you see Afrobeats in 10 years?
I think it's going to become a mainstream phenomenon, if you ask me. I mean, everyone's adopting the sound, they're taking the clothes, and, you know, there's going to be a lot more cross-pollination across the continent of Africa. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a very exciting time to be an African, especially when it comes to music. And it also gives the youths who their parents taught, you know what, don't do music. Music is not for you. Now you can confidently say that you can be something from music.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you so much,
Thank
DJ.
you.
DJ Gabe in the building, and all the
Thank you
best.
so much. Have a fantastic evening. Take care. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I'm having an awesome time. Now, moving along, the next honorary that we want to honor right now is Oscar Bingpong, who is a transformational speaker. And I mean, the guy has written 3 inspirational books. So you definitely need to read up a bit more about him. I mean, we're going to show you the video about what he's done. And of course, he is the founder and the director of Train to Inspire. Oscar, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I was looking at your bio and I was like, my goodness, this man is just doing a lot of amazing things. Now, where do you get all the energy and where do you need to draw in from within yourself to be able to motivate so many people? I mean, transformational is the new hybrid for motivational. I mean, hello.
Yes. Wow. You are not the only person asking me this question. A lot of people ask me, how do you do it?
Yeah, please tell me.
I think there is one thing all of us are missing, many of us are missing in life, and that is that purpose. That thing that you are born to do on earth. That thing that when you are given opportunity to do it, you cannot even sleep. You are so excited. Sometimes, even if you are not paid, you do with a smile. A lot of us are missing that thing, and I have been able to find mine. And that is where I draw my passion from. I draw my passion. I love what I do.
Yeah.
Look, I can work 24 hours a day when it comes to my passion. And I think that's what drives me. And the kind of results that we get from young people is so amazing. Just about 2 weeks ago, one of my mentees sent me a car that he has bought. And he said, Oscar, thank you very much. Because of you, I've been able to buy my first car for my business. And these are the simple stories that keeps me going. I can't stop because of that one young person. And trust me, our continent have got young people that are very intelligent. They are highly innovative, but what they need is sometimes a little tap on their shoulder to say, go ahead and do it. Yeah. Sometimes they need a little bit of resources and they can turn it around. And trust me, that is why Global African Awards is all about. We don't work to get an award, but when an award comes through, it just gives us the encouragement that we are doing the right thing. So I would like to thank Koran and his team, Global African Awards, and also Brand South Africa for really supporting this initiative. Right now, you have really moved my energy to the next level. And so I hope I'm going to work hard to the next year to make sure that the young people on the continent really deserve what they really deserve. And it starts from here.
I mean, Oscar, it seems like you're already doing an incredible job. So I can't imagine what next level you're going to take it to. But tell me, why is it very important for the diaspora to actually invest in the African youth?
You see, one thing I always tell all of us in the diaspora is that our experience, our knowledge, our little resources can go a long way to change the lives of young people. Some of the young people, all they need is direction. So I want to use this platform to encourage anybody that is watching us to really take one young person on the continent and mentor them. Because if all of us can start mentoring one young person, trust me, in just few years to come, we don't need the whole African continent to change. We need some few change agents that are going to drive that change, that mindset change, that are going to drive that business, that entrepreneurship. And trust me, if we can start mentoring young people, we will see the Africa that we want in our generation before we die. So I want to encourage everybody that mentorship is key. Just take one person, one at a time, because you see, the point is that if you change one person, you haven't changed one person. You have changed the family of that person. You have changed their community, because if that person becomes an influence, he will influence other people.
Well, Oscar, thank you so much for your wise words. I mean, I totally get why you are doing exactly what you do. It is your calling. I can't imagine you doing anything else. But do enjoy your award and enjoy the rest of the evening.
You too. Thank you.
Right now, I mean, if you look at the industry of we just talked about football, we spoke about Afrobeats, we spoke about the film industry, and all of this comes down to being a creative, to being an artist. And many a times we always like to look at the frivolous parts, the exciting parts when it comes to that sector. But many times we don't really give these artists an idea of how they can handle their business in the creative industry. And this is why we would love to honor a woman who is doing just that, just making sure that creatives understand the business of the industry, and they're doing just that, and they're not also being robbed. And that is Yemisi Mokowolu. And we just want to honor her for supporting growth and development in the creative industry through all the work that she's doing as a creative consultant and an independent producer.
Thank you so much for this award. It's just a complete and utter shock and just such a wonderful honor. I just want to thank all the partners as well for and the judging panel for selecting me. When I first started, 2002, the landscape was so two-dimensional when it came to presenting Africa and African creativity. And I started with a small club night, which has then grown into a festival. And I'm proud that we also host a festival across Ghana, creating platforms for artists to be able to showcase their brilliance and their ingenuity. And today, we've also added like supporting them to be able to create their business and really get the ideas together and be as sustainable as they can be. As you can see, I'm beaming. I would never have imagined that the endeavor I took on when I was so young coming out of university would be recognized in this way. I'm truly humbled by this award. Thank you so much. And I'd really like to thank every single person that has supported me through this journey. It has not been easy. and this award has just spurred me on so much to be able to continue to do the work that we do in supporting entrepreneurs across Africa, across Europe, and now we're even entering into Brazil, to be able to realize their potential, you know, and show their purpose and create the change that they want to see happen and the social impact. So thank you again, and bless you all for this award. Thank you.
Yemisi, am I saying your name correctly? Please help me out.
Thank you. No, it's perfect.
Oh, yay, I'm happy. Now, I mean, your work is incredible. I love everything that you are doing. I've been looking at your profile. Really, really impressive. All the work that you're doing with Hatch, as well as what you did with Out of Africa. Now, quick question. How do you continuously motivate yourself to always find ways to uplift all the different African businesses and just, you know, taking them to a whole new level?
It's easy. When you see, seriously, when you see people who are so generous in their ideas and their energy, I'm just inspired by them. And can you imagine, I'm surrounded by so many of these innovators, these pioneers, these entrepreneurs. I mean, it's just an honor for me to be part of their journey and to support them and just to do the best and get the team to do the best that we can do to help them to realize their dream and to make that impact. Yeah, they inspire me to do better and to do more.
Now, looking at your work with Hatch Events and how you basically want to just you know, diversify the visuals and the images and just have a lot of representation.
Yes.
How are you finding that in the environment that we're currently finding ourselves with all the different Black Lives Matters movement that are happening?
You know, it's an ongoing journey because, first of all, people have to recognize their value and their worth in themselves. So we hold people's hands and we do a lot of mentoring and support for these innovators to be able to step out. And then they can see the world around them, and we can link hands when we have moments like Black Lives Matter to see each other and to actually be generous enough to share our experiences, to be vulnerable enough to be able to speak our truth, you know. And it is absolutely about changing the narrative and making sure that we are the ones that are driving our stories. So it only just encourages us, and we can make sure that we use these platforms and these opportunities to push and drive our purpose ever forward.
Well, with you definitely in the driver's seat, I am very, very certain that a whole lot of change is coming, and it is on the way, and it's exactly happening. This is why we're having these awards. Thank you so much, and enjoy your award and the evening.
Thank you.
Right now, I mean, if you think back in 2010, right, when South Africa hosted the World Cup, I mean, the whole of Africa was in euphoria. I mean, finally, eventually, we had the FIFA World Cup happening on the motherland. And boy, was it amazing. It was incredible. And I mean, if you remember on the opening night, there were all these beautiful dresses that were out there. I mean, they looked so good. They were traditional jerseys, and they had some pockets with your whole South African flag happening. Do you remember those dresses? Well, guess what? Tonight, we are honoring the designer, the fashion designer behind this brand. And her name is Primrose Mazibuko, and she's also the founder of Fibre Sands. Oh, here I am back again. I am not Primrose. I wish I was. I wish I could tell you all about fashion design and everything. But I mean, you know, not only did we enjoy everything that happened with fashion, I mean, there were so many other things that we enjoyed about that World Cup, but particularly looking at everything that has to do with fashion in Africa, I think we are doing so many incredible work, and we just love celebrating all the different designers and all the work that they're doing just to amplify our work and everything. And absolutely now, I mean, I'm not sure if Primrose will be coming in at this point. I'm hoping that we can wait a few seconds to see if we'll grab her and be able to talk to her and find out how her whole journey went when it came to the World Cup and all the work that she's done after that. So we'll just wait a little bit and see. And I mean, you will obviously be back. And I think that's her right in front of me. Hi, girl.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Testing, testing.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for honoring me with such a prestigious award.
You are worth it, girl, all of it.
Firstly, I would like to thank the Almighty God for this opportunity. It's been such a journey with Fibre Sands. As you know, we started in 2010 when we were doing our World Cup dresses, and that's when people started to recognize us as the brand. I would like to dedicate this award to my late grandmother and my parents. I know they're looking down at me and proud right now. To my Fibre Sands team, you guys rock. We've been pushing through the pandemic, and we've been pushing united as a team in delivering the best to our client. And my family, this business is a family business. So I work with my family. We're building this empire together. And lastly, and most importantly, to my queens, our Fibre Sands customers, I would like to thank you for buying our products and wearing it with pride. It's exactly how we envisioned it. Because when you created the Nguni print, it was such a bittersweet moment because there were so many counterfeits of the designs. But with your loyalty and your support throughout the years, we are here now on a global stage representing our country and saying thank you.
Primrose, incredible work. I mean, I just
God
want to
bless
go
you.
back to 2010 when the opening night happened and you saw your dresses there and you're thinking of all these football players and all these teams. What were you going through at that moment? Are we together? You know, this is exactly what happens with technology. You know, right now, those are all the challenges that we see.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's a bit breaking off a bit.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's happening.
No, it's just it's technology. We'll be fine. Okay, I'll just repeat the question for you.
Okay.
So basically, I mean, I'm still stuck in 2020. I need to come back in a whole 11 years later. But at that moment, when you saw your dresses on the opening night, what did you feel?
So 2010, I wanted to celebrate my country, but I don't love wearing jersey because I'm very much a lady. I like wearing, dresses and stuff. So we created hood dresses with the South African flag. So it was such a moment for us when people received it so well and they wanted to buy it. So it was the start of something great, definitely.
And what happened for your brand as a designer after the World Cup? Where did it take you, and where are you seeing yourself in the next couple of years?
After the World Cup, like it's where we started. So it was still, early stages. It's only when we started, maybe like 3 years later, then it started growing, and then we started dressing a whole lot of people, like celebrities. And another highlights recently, we dressed the top 10 of Miss South Africa. So all those things with the Nguni print that we created the print to celebrate the culture. So, with such recognition, it gives us, inspiration and encouragement to continue representing our culture on an international stage.
Well, Primrose, you are doing an incredible job. We love your work. And I mean, I wish you all the best. I can't wait to see what else you're going to do. But if you're at home and you're watching us right now, I mean, tell us where you're coming in from. We'd love to hear from you because it wouldn't be the same without you. This is exactly why we're doing this, having these awards, Global African Awards, right here for you. Thank you so much, Primrose, for being with us, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
God bless you.
Absolutely. So please let those messages keep coming in and let us know where you are watching us from and what you're enjoying and everything else that you want to see when it comes to the African continent. Now, unfortunately, we've seen a huge, massive spike when it comes to gender-based violence. And tonight, as we continue with the theme of celebrating women, because it is Africa's Month, we decided to honor a GBV advocate who's been working with her initiative, which is a non-profit organization, Kuhluka Movement, to actually empower all the GBV survivors. Christina Mashal.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I would like to thank the Global African Awards in partnership with Brand South Africa for honoring me with the Global Impact Award for Community Building. My journey as a voice and a face of women throughout the world that are victims and survivors of gender-based violence started 6 years ago, when I've experienced second victimization in the hands of people that we're supposed to protect, such as doctors and the police. My journey in the justice system continues until today. And so at that time, I decided to create the Kutluka movement, which is an organization that fights for the rights, the needs, and the wishes of victims of and survivors of gender-based violence. We provide services from the moment they're abused, and we do the journey until they feel that they are healed. And so it was quite a bit of a shock to receive this award, to start receiving recognitions at this point. And for that, I would like to thank you. I would like to receive this award in honor of all the women that are abused, and particularly for those women that tonight, the hundreds of women that by the end of tonight would have lost their lives and will never have the opportunity to scream against gender-based violence, to show their faces against gender-based violence. For those women, for those fallen soldiers, I want to dedicate this award. And I want to ensure them, I want to ensure everybody, men and women in this world, that I started screaming 5 years ago. But I will continue screaming for justice for every woman in this world until my last breath. Thank you so much.
Josina Marçal, thank you so much for all the work that you're putting in and how you're empowering all these gender-based violence survivors. Now, I'd like to find out from you, when it comes to just the law in general, do you think that enough is being done to protect survivors? Or even impede GBV?
You know, unfortunately, we only have 144 countries in the world that actually have legislation when it comes to gender-based violence. When we look at the African continent, not all countries, only half of the countries actually have criminalized gender-based violence, and they have policies against it. But you know what? Having legislation is just one step. It's the beginning. Because the most important thing is really implementing and ensuring that the legislation is alive, ensuring that there are mechanisms that actually protect these women and ensure that justice is done. So that is our challenge, is to continue fighting and ensuring that there is training, there are procedures in place so that those men and women in the criminal justice system are capacitated to actually bring justice to many of us.
Right. Now, when we look at GBV, I mean, it's pretty clear what is happening when there is GBV. But what role do you think men should have, or do they have rather, but more so should have in actually tackling this issue that we have right now?
Men are natural allies in the fight against gender-based violence, because if we look at numbers, and I hate to quote numbers, but unfortunately it's the truth and percentages, men are the main perpetrators of gender-based violence. They perpetrate almost 70% of gender-based violence in the world. And so these are natural allies for us. And they have a key role, actually, in standing up and saying, I do not want this to be perpetrated in my name. But that is not just, it's not just that it's necessary. It's them actively participating in the fight against gender-based violence by calling out those that are perpetrators, by actually creating circles of support and circles that defend women every single day, by standing up actively and not becoming accomplices, not being bystanders, and not actually continuing to silence women.
Absolutely. Josina Marçal, we celebrate you tonight. We honor you for all the work that you're doing. I mean, it is not an easy journey that any of these women have to go through, but we are so grateful that you're there with them step by step and helping them find themselves again. Enjoy the rest of your evening and please feel honored.
Thank you.
Right, now our next honorary is a man who has spent the majority of his life making sure that the South African expat community, wherever in the world, and particularly in the UK, is kept abreast with all the news that is happening in South Africa through the SouthAfrican.com. And tonight we just want to honor him for all the hard work he's keeping and empowering all the different South Africans everywhere to keep the South African flag alive and just talk about it and celebrate it. So tonight, we have the pleasure to honor Mr. Atherton.
Good evening to everybody watching the Global African Awards virtual ceremony this evening. Yeah, sorry I can't be with you guys live, but I've just recorded a short recording thanking everybody for the award I'm receiving tonight, the Global Impact Award, for my role and time in the UK and when I moved back to Cape Town, where I'm currently sitting, and it's 28 degrees outside, but I put on a shirt for you guys. Yeah, my time in the UK was mostly involved, since 2003, when I started working at the South African newspaper. It had just launched, as I said in my bio. I started out handing out newspapers, and obviously asked James, my ex-business partner, for a job, a full-time job, and the one thing lead to the next, and he put me behind the phone, and that's where I started to build my network of South Africans living in the UK, from businesses to friends, family. It was our home away from home, and it's where I met my beautiful wife, who without her I wouldn't be here today. But I'd just like to thank you all for recognizing my work and involvement. I work with the South African Business Club, the South African Chamber of Commerce, the South African Charity Golf Day, the Springbok Supporters Club. So I was really involved in the South African community and making sure that we all stuck together and represented our country. There's a lot of bad stigma around South Africans living abroad and not doing, but I know that for most of us there, we are always proud of South Africa and representing well, and will continue to do so. And I've just seen from where my career went and how business grew, and obviously we've the SouthAfrican.com, which was our main title in the end, which we pivoted when I moved back to South Africa to not just focus on the UK but on the whole of South Africa, and we got to a point where we now sit in the top 5 ranked news sites in the country, and one of the biggest globally. So it's one heck of achievement, and I couldn't have done it on my own. So I'd like to thank obviously all my business partners, James, my mentor. He obviously taught me all I knew, and I think Olani, who had a role in this award for between him and I'm not sure who nominated me for this award, but I would just like to shout out a big thank you to everyone. I miss the UK. As soon as we're allowed, I will be visiting. But for now, I'm focusing on my health, and just living life to the fullest. And I will see you guys all soon. And thanks again.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Patrick Atherton. Now, to continue celebrating Women's Month, and of course, just everything that we are, we're resilient. Not only are we beautiful and also intelligent, but we also have a brand new female president in the eastern part of Africa, Her Excellency, President Samia Suluhu. And also, as we continue, and unfortunately we have come to the end of the evening, can you believe how time flies? It's been such a good time. I'm having the best time ever. And now I have to say goodbye to you. But before we do that, our closing remarks for tonight are coming from the brand behind the brand. I mean, she is so phenomenal. We just had to get her back up again so she can say a little thing or two for you. Phumela Salela.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to acknowledge the presence in our midst of Her Excellency Ambassador Yolisa Maya, who is South Africa's ambassador to the Republic of Ireland. We just want to honor you, Mama. We see you. You've been engaging in the YouTube. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence today. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to salute Mr. Conrad Mwanza, who is the visionary behind the Global African Awards. We have come a long way since these were called the Africa Diaspora Awards until where we are today. May the awards grow bigger and bigger and even have a higher reach and a greater impact in the lives of the people across the world. Well done to you, and we wish to continue to support you in this venture. I want to also thank the team at CMG Media, the COO, Epson, who's been behind the scenes, Tiffany, the events manager, Lorraine, who's the CFO, and Zihlo, our gorgeous, fabulous, absolutely phenomenal program director for today. I know that I cannot thank CMG Media without thanking those who support Conrad behind the vision and the company as a whole. And so at this moment, I also wish to acknowledge Mr. Kolani Kala and to thank you for supporting. I can also see you are engaging on Facebook. Thank you for the support that you are doing today and the support that you've given to this venture in the days and the months that we're leading to today. Because as you know, ladies and gentlemen, it takes months to plan such. And well done on your support of the team and the vision. I also want to thank all of you who have joined on the various platforms. We've been streaming on Facebook, we've been streaming on YouTube, and we've been streaming on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the comments that you've kept going throughout this session. It's encouraging for us, as the team that is bringing this, to realize that it is really making the desired impact that we envision when we set out to do such. I want to say to all the Africans that there is an African proverb that says, cross the river in a crowd and the crocodile won't eat you. Let me repeat it. Cross the river in a crowd and the crocodile won't eat you. What this means to me is that African unity is more important now than ever before. But I'm not leaving out those who are not of African descent or those who are not born in the African continent. Because what has happened during this COVID outbreak is that this new word, it has been existing, but the word allyship has been amplified. And I want to take it and bring it back to those who I will call friends of Africa and really encourage you to stand with the African continent, stand with us, stand with the award recipients today. There may be those whose cause is very close to your heart. Stand with them and amplify their voices. And in encouraging you, I want to quote what Kwame Nkrumah, one of Africa's greatest leaders, once said. He said, "You are not African because you are born in Africa. You are African because Africa is born in you." And I'm saying this because there are a number of people who are joining us today and who will be watching this later on, who are not born in Africa, but they identify with Africa and its course. They identify with African culture, with the roots and identity. And so we do not want to leave you behind. You are welcome. As Africans, we are very welcoming. And we want to partner with you as well in taking this work further. And I want to repeat what was said by Kwame Nkrumah. You are not African because you are born in Africa. You are African because Africa is born in you. So, in conclusion, see you in London, hopefully in person when we host the awards live, because from here we're going to host the awards live. And I want to thank all the awards recipients. You've inspired me, as I've been hearing your stories, learning from your own journeys. And it will be great then that we gather in person and exchange, energies physically, in the sense of connecting in London, particularly at the Mayfair Hotel, where the Global African Awards are usually held. Very prestigious venue, because only the best, is deserved by each of you and those who will be supporting us in this venture. So between now and then, please stay safe. So see you soon. Thank you to all for joining.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our event partner, and she is representing the beautiful brand South Africa, Phumela Salela. Now, all of you watching at home, it has been incredible to have all your feedback coming in. I mean, you're making this even much better for me to be able to interact and hear all your comments. But one question that I would like to come off the backdrop of Kwame Nkrumah's quote of being an African, what exactly do you identify with that makes you African, that makes you feel African? Hit us up in the comments, and I want to hear from you so we can know exactly what makes you feel alive. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this extravaganza. Did you have fun? Yes, oh yes, because there are no no's right now. I had a brilliant time, and I'm pretty sure that you did. This is the end of our event right here, the annual Global African Awards that were brought to you by CMG and in partnership with Brand South Africa. It's been so great to all the honoraries that came in and all the beautiful speeches that they made. Thank you so much for availing yourself and just, sharing a little bit of all the things that you're doing. And we wish you all the best in your next endeavors. But this is not it from Global African Awards. We will be back, darling. This is just the beginning of something whole new, exciting. You do not want to miss out on this, because we will be back with more hot fire for you. But in the meantime, do take care and all the best. Mwah. Ciao.
When a seed is planted in rich and fertile soil, it lays down strong roots and yields vast acres of produce. The same rings true when it comes to investing. You need a fertile environment to grow your investment, and South Africa offers a perfect environment for growth. Despite internal and external challenges, South Africa's growth prospects continue unabated. Over the last 10 years, we've had a population growth of just under 7 million people and a GDP that has grown by $121.5 billion. We have a modern and well-developed transport infrastructure with an expanded road network. The Gautrain rail system connects Johannesburg and Pretoria, the financial and administrative capital cities, to the OR Tambo International Airport, with stations across both cities. 12.8 million households now have access to electricity in urban and rural areas. South Africa is also home to the most advanced financial institutions and systems in the world. It is one of the most sophisticated emerging markets globally and a key investment location for the market opportunities that lie within it. Our country is an African economic powerhouse with a favorable demographic profile and a growing middle class with increasing spending power. These are the key factors that have contributed to the growth of our nation's successes. We're a diverse nation with a unique history and a rich heritage. A land of 11 official languages and breathtaking natural beauty, South Africa has something for everybody who visits it. Thanks to the richness of our culture and heritage, our country is considered a prime tourist destination, which is a major contributor to the country's economic success. South Africa is considered to have one of the world's most progressive constitutions, with a Bill of Rights second to none, which seeks to establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights. We share a number of internationally valued products with the world, such as platinum, coal, diamonds, fruit, vegetables, and more. The South African automotive industry continues to grow and is perfectly placed for investment opportunities. We are leading manufacturers of global car brands such as BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and Toyota, with production plants across the country. We have one of the most advanced port infrastructures in Africa, allowing for the easy flow of goods in and out of the country. In the last 5 years, exports have increased from 500 to more than 900 billion rand, reflecting the increase in demand for locally produced goods that leave our shores via road, rail, air, or sea. Our nation is home to a number of international airports, most notably OR Tambo International Airport, Cape Town International Airport, and King Shaka International Airport in Durban, all transporting and welcoming millions of visitors to and from our shores for both business and pleasure. We're a nation of entrepreneurs, innovators, skilled workers, and artisans. We are early adopters of technology, continuously embracing new innovations. We're the incubator of local and foreign businesses and ideas that have taken root here and flourished beyond our borders into Africa and the world at large. When deciding where to invest, ensure that you plant your investment in an environment where the conditions for growth are favorable. Choose an environment where your investment can lay down strong roots and grow. Choose South Africa. South Africa, inspiring new ways.